the North are not doing well financially.
Yeah.
The southern part was doing brilliant.
So it's the
well.
north. The north. So the north, like
Now
they're
they
poor
are,
financially. Like the desert. Is it a desert?
there's a desert.
Yeah.
And they don't have much resources as we do, and
Right.
they are not educated as we do.
Yeah.
So they now amalgamate the south and the north for
So
economic
you're much more educated than the north.
Definitely, we are.
Have you got a lot more people that graduated from Oxford University?
A lot. And we travel quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Both educational and, socially we are exposed.
So why is it that the British not allowing you to separate then?
A lot of countries, to be honest, they are benefiting from Nigeria because there's a lot of mineral resources, petroleum, gold, bitumen, name it, is deposited in our land.
Wow.
That's why a lot of countries,
Yeah.
they are now pressing us down. They don't want the country to break so that they will keep on taking our resources.
Yeah, so according to our sister, the northern Nigeria, that they are not financially doing well. They are not educated. They don't have resources. They don't travel. And for them in the south, they are well educated. They travel. And because of that, they want their own separate nation. Because the north doesn't have resources, according to her. My sister, let me first of all tell you, there is no any place in Africa that does not have resources. The whole entire continent of Africa. There is no any nation or any place, region, whatever you want to call it, state that does not have resources. Every state have the best resources is the mine. Britain that you went there signing a petition for them to help you have your own nation. They don't have resources, but they are using their brain. You understand? But I want to ask a question, and I need your sincere answer if you are watching this video, please. Do you think that Africa should be divided based on tribes? Must every tribe have their own nation? Because this is what some people seem to be calling for. We want an Akan nation, Ashanti nation, Dagomba nation, Zulu nation, Igbo nation, Yoruba nation, this nation, that nation. Must we divide Africa? Mandinga nation. Must we divide Africa based on tribes? Can that really help us? Must we create nations based on tribes so that every tribe will have sit in their one corner? Everybody will sit in their one corner and nobody has nothing to do with other tribes because you think you have resources more than they have. Must we do that? Can that help Africa? For me, in my opinion, as a unifier, as somebody who is fighting for the unification of Africa, as somebody who believes that it is only unity that can give us back our dignity as children of Africa, I don't believe that, but I want to know your opinion. Because the 50 states in America, if they were not united, America would just be like any other country. But the founding fathers of America saw the need for unity, the power that unity will give them. They fought a civil war and they brought 50 states together. And today, America is the most powerful country in the world. And yet we are here calling for separate nations based on tribes. This is tribalism and nothing else. And tribalism didn't help our ancestors. When the Europeans were coming, if our ancestors realized that at least for once they should unite and put aside their tribes, they put their tribes aside, we wouldn't have been facing what we are facing today. We are facing what we are facing today because of the mistakes of our forefathers. Take it or leave it, that is the reality. We are facing what we are facing today as African people because of the mistakes of our forefathers, calling each other's bush people, thinking, having supremacy, thinking that because I am Igbo, I am better than a Yoruba man. Because I am Yoruba, I am better than a Fulani man. Because I am Fulani, I am better than Hausa man. Because I'm Hausa, I am better than Dagomba man. Because I'm Dagomba, I am better than Zulu man. Because I'm Zulu, I'm better than Xhosa man. Because I'm Xhosa, I'm better than Ashanti man. Because I'm Ashanti, I'm better than Mandinka. That was what our ancestors were doing. That led to slavery, whether we like it or not. That was their mistakes. And today we are more than ready to continue to repeat the same mistakes that our forefathers made. Do you really think that creating your own nation, Yoruba, based on your tribe, can really help you? Remember, when our ancestors did that, when the British catch up with them, they didn't spare nobody. The British didn't spare the Ashanti man. The British didn't spare the Igbo man. The British, they didn't spare the Yoruba man. Neither did they spare the Northerners that you are blaming for what is happening in Nigeria. We are all catching the same hell. And I think that history should be a compulsory subject for every African. History should be compulsory for every African to learn it, especially colonial history. Let me repeat it. Colonial history should be compulsory for every African to learn. Because if we know what colonization has, the damage that colonization, the mistake that our ancestors made, and the damage that colonization has done for us, we wouldn't be calling for separate nations based on tribes. Because you claim that before you were doing financial well. When was that? When was that? Was it before colonization? Was it before slavery or after? When was that? And as I said, when the Europeans came, they didn't know your tribe. And they didn't even care about that. And even today, they don't care about that. All that they want is the resources. So why can't we come together and then unite at least for once to see what unity can give us, rather than going around preaching hate for no reason? Rather than going around preaching hate. The British love it when they see us coming to them, like how myopic our minds could be, that the same people who put us into this kind of situation, that we wake up and then we are going to them looking for solution.
Hello, General.
That's it.
Is that the General, yeah? The General.
That's the General.
What is his name?
Osha.
General Osha. Can I ask you a question, General? So what's the letter entails today? What are you here for today?
We are here to come and talk to...
Yeah.
We are here to come and...
Yeah. I just got a question. Yeah, I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what is it? What are you here for today?
We're here under the self-determination right.
Yeah.
You know, and the reason why we're being asked to do this under our leader is because the Yorubas are people that have been around for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Self-determination that we're asking for is so that we can exit Nigeria peacefully. So we're having a march today.
So you're part of Nigeria?
Yeah, we're part of Nigeria. The Yoruba that have been around with Nigeria for 13,000 years.
Yeah.
They want everybody to go back.
I believe this is the leader. He's going over to hand over a letter. He probably will be going to the Prime Minister to hand over a letter, I think.
We're never going to get no solution from the British. We're never going to get that. And as I said, my sister or anybody watching this, I think if you have Netflix, please do not hesitate to watch the journey of making a colony. The journey of making a colony, it is the history of the entire country called Nigeria. And then you will see that all of us today, all the country, the nation Nigeria, all the tribes, we were all beaten by the British. Take it or leave it. We were all beaten by them. They didn't spare nobody. You will see how they dealt with the Yoruba people when they came to the Yoruba land. That was their first contact. And after they dealt with the Igbos, they went to the north. It was brutal. They reduced everybody, all of us, to nothing. And after they create Nigeria. And today, we are there blaming each other. You see people coming out every day talking about blaming each other, blaming the North. According to what you yourself, you are saying you are more well educated more than the Northerners.
The North are not doing well financially.
Yeah.
The southern part was doing brilliant.
So it's the
well.
north. The north. So the north, like
Now
they're
they
poor
are
financially. Like the desert. Is it a desert?
there's a desert, and they don't have much resources as we do, and they are not educated as we do. So
the Northerners, they are languishing in poverty. So what is the problem again? They are languishing in poverty. You are doing better than them, and yet you still think that they are your problem. And the truth is that you are doing better than them. Maybe the only reason is that they are content with what they have. Maybe that's the only reason. You are doing better than they are. The level of poverty in northern Nigeria, I've never been there, but the level of poverty, I'm told, is just like, it's mind-boggling. You just cannot even think of it. And yet you still blame them for what is happening in Nigeria. What is happening in Nigeria, it is not just peculiar to Nigeria. It is an African problem, and that was caused on us by the colonial criminals. And the reason why the colonial criminals were able to do it successfully was because our ancestors never realized the need for them to unite, put aside their tribal differences. It was tribalism that led us into slavery. Take it or leave it. And it was the same tribalism that led us into colonialism. And if we today, we don't address it and continue to think that we want to separate based on tribes, continue to think that your tribe is better than my tribe is better than you, then the people who are subjugating us, the people who are taking our resources for free, then they will continue to do that based on our tribal differences. We must learn, because everywhere you go, when you are there in London crying to separate yourself, they don't know your tribe and they don't care. They don't know your tribe and they don't care. We are all catching the same hell everywhere we go as African people. Why can't we give unity the chance and see what unity will give us? Why? Just because my grandfather and your grandfather have their differences or they have problems among themselves, that doesn't mean that today me and you should continue from that. Because that differences that they have or that problem that they got, it never helped them. And me and you, we are catching hell. We are suffering because of the mistakes of them. President Museveni pointed out brilliantly, when the Europeans were coming, our ancestors knew that they were coming.
If you are Christians like me, you would have read the book of the Acts of the Apostles, the journeys of St. Paul. Those places where St. Paul was passing, Ephesus, Galatia, Corinth, and all those places, some of them are now in a country that did not exist at the time of Jesus. This country is called Turkey. This Turkey you see now. It was not there. The Turkish captured Constantinople in 1453. Captured it from the people who were there, the ones whom St. Paul was talking about, the Romans. Now, when they captured Constantinople, they blocked the overland route to the east. So the Europeans could not get spices, especially, which they needed for winter, for preserving food. That's how the Europeans started expanding, looking for an alternative sea route to the east. The Portuguese, 1473, they got where Sierra Leone is now. 1482, a man called Diego Cama got to where Angola is now. 1487, a Portuguese man called Bartholomew Diaz got to the Cape of Good Hope. That's how they call it, the Cape of Good Hope. And then 1498, Vasco da Gama went around the Cape of Good Hope and landed in Natal on Christmas Day. That's why they called it Natal. Now, that's where my problem with the king starts. When Vasco da Gama went from Natal, he passed by Mombasa, he bombarded Mombasa, he continued to India. From that time, 1498, these kings of ours here were aware, they were hearing that new people are coming, new people who are strong are coming. But they were just here, just not bothered. You can imagine, Vasco da Gama went around the Cape 1498. The first white man to come to Uganda was Huntington Speke in 1862. You calculate, this is a difference of 364 years. These kings are just seated here, not bothered to find out what's happening. And information was coming from the coast until the Europeans came and caught all of them like grasshoppers here. All of them were captured. Mwanga, Kabarega, all these little pharaohs who tried to resist, they were captured like grasshoppers. So, is our generation going to be like that? Like those kings? Because you have heard that somebody is in space, he's looking at you from there. And for you are here.
But they never wanted to put aside their tribal differences and unite to fight their common enemy. They never did that. And today we must realize that. Look at how they are treating us everywhere we go. You are in London and then you are doing this. You are in London and then you still cannot put aside your tribalism and realize that the people that you are going there to beg for, to separate you, they are behind all your suffering. They are behind that. And they will never even want you to separate because they know what they are benefiting from that. Why can't we wake up and use our brains for the good of us rather than thinking that it is some of us who are the cause of our suffering? It got nothing to do with that. And you're talking about education. You are more educated. My sister, what has your education benefit the continent of Africa? The education that the colonial criminals gave us, they didn't give us that education for our own good. Even though we have been able to manage to use it in some way for our own benefit, but still, that educational system even need to be changed. Thank you very much for coming around. Please, if you appreciate what we are doing, our mission is all about the unity of Africa. That is what our mission is all about. And even if you disagree with us, please don't hesitate to support our mission. Support us by sharing what we are doing. Like it, pass your comments, and also if you haven't subscribed, please try and subscribe. Let us all together fight for a united, dignified Africa. Not just for us, but for the next generation of Africans. And our dignity will come from our unity. It is only unity that will give us back our dignity as children of Africa. As I keep saying, the founding fathers of America, imagine 50 states, they were able to bring it together. And today, America is the most powerful country in the world. Imagine if we can also manage to give unity the chance, 54 states, with our resources that we got, both human resources and natural resources. Imagine what Africa would be. We need one passport. We need one military. We need one currency. That was what our ancestors, our founding fathers, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah and co., that was what they fought for. And then we must not let them down. Let's fight for a united, better Africa. That is the only way a dignified Africa will be realized. Thank you very much for coming around.
The North are not doing well financially.
Yeah.
The southern part was doing brilliantly.
So it's the
well.
north. So the north, like
Now
they're
they
poor financially, like the desert. Is it a desert?
There's a desert.
Yeah.
And they don't have much resources as we do, and
Right.
they are not educated as we do.
Yeah.
So they now amalgamate the south and the north for
So you
economic
much more educated than the north.
Definitely, we are.
Have you got a lot more people that graduated from Oxford University?
A lot. And we travel quite a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Both educational and, socially we are exposed.
So why is it that the British not allowing you to separate then?
A lot of countries, to be honest, they are benefiting from Nigeria because there's a lot of mineral resources, petroleum, gold, bitumen, name it, is deposited in our land.
Wow.
That's why a lot of countries,
Yeah.
they are now pressing us down. They don't want the country to break, so that they will keep on taking our resources, and our people will be suffering.
Okay, all right.
All the young people now, they are all over the place. You understand? They've left home.
Yes.
Because the country now is not benefiting anybody. They are suffering.